Yes. Anybody going to lead us today with some thoughts or something? Or we're just, this is an open farbrengen?
I think at this point it's pretty open.
Okay.
And we have Shlomi on, if anyone has questions.
Maybe you should just give us an update, what's going on.
Yeah, what's going on, how, yes.
Maybe it's not Shlomi, it's Moshiach office at Marcus 302. Mendel? David? My chaver David's on, and he's rallying his local shluchim. We saw that, David. That was beautiful.
So we have a chabuda, which I just for me I didn't want to tell you yesterday on the Minatzchim group chat that I did a shortcut because I put it out on the shluchim, and I said we're starting a chabuda to learn, and we got 8 good chevra already that signed up, and hopefully we'll once we set the time and a date, we'll hopefully have a bunch more. But we're working on it.
What about the families? What about the kinderlach and the, you know?
Obviously, it needs a much shorter version. Obviously, if everybody just takes something they share with their family over Shabbos, the Nekudas, Shabbos or during whatever, that so they can all be signed on to the mitzvah officially. The numbers. It would be very good if we had a number counter, if we had somewhere where people are signing in and the numbers, it would create such momentum. I really think so. Because it's nice to know that everybody's doing it, but when we have a sense of who's coming on and the chevra, the power of it, I think would be fantastic.
For the real young children, maybe like another Rebbe Kids video, maybe they can make like 4 episodes from these 4 Sichos, I don't know who does that, but maybe someone can reach out to them. Know what I'm talking about? Like the Rebbe Kids video? They have...
anymore.
He's talking about the Mai Maor, Rabbi Chanoy Chaskin.
Yeah. So even maybe he could do like 4 episodes, based on these 4 sichos. Maybe he even has an episode or 2 from these sichos already.
Does anyone have a connection? Anyone on right now have a connection with him?
I could reach out to Chanoy Chaskin.
Beautiful, Gershi.
I also just wanted to bring up on the 24-hour farbrengen, I always say the most practical is the most important. And I actually tried it at home. Rabbi Moss from Sydney, Australia, was speaking about turning the Mevater cards into Moshiach cards, which basically means every time a kid is fighting or there's a decision to be made and he makes the right decision, you say, you got a Moshiach card. It means you helped bring Moshiach by doing A, B, and C. I was amazed. My little boy, he's 6 years old. He wanted to know how many Moshiach cards is he getting. I didn't realize how real and how serious the kids take it. And I was thinking, I said I would come this week to bring out, if somehow we can get a designer just to someone and help print and make, it doesn't have to be printed. We could send out the shluchim and Anash, the available Moshiach cards. We have the nice design, print out. It's a beautiful tool for these kids. I mean, I was shocked by how the kids, it wasn't like, oh, Mevater card, my midos. You're making a Moshiach decision now, and you made the right decision to bring Moshiach, you get a little Moshiach card. It went a long way, and I was shocked. And my wife was also on the farbrengen. She was also amazed how the kids took it with such a ritzinus. The Rebbe says, Mashiach are the kids. So, and it's real. I just wanted to give credit to Rabbi Moss, and I want to tell you that it works.
What if your kids don't fight at home?
Then you should go to a psychologist.
Encourage them to start fighting and then you give them.
You should get like a lot of calls. What are you doing? What are you doing? No, but in practice, it doesn't even have to be fighting. The decision to help set up, the decision of Zrizos, the decision when they made a good thing on their own. It doesn't always have to be out of
Don't worry,
conflict.
Gashi. Don't worry, Gashi. They do fight over here. Don't worry about it.
We had why I'm this is just a thought that not Poil Mamish, and if others will speak up on Poil Mamish, I'll be quiet. I just wanted to say something that I was very inspired with. Last night we had an emergency here in Los Angeles, a major emergency. A kid got lost, and happens to be the kid happens in my shul, so I feel personally connected to this. We were terrified. 8 o'clock ran out the call that this and this. A 6-year-old kid left his house. To see the mobilization that took place here, by 8:30, I went out. I was waiting for a chavrusa that was coming to learn with me at 9 o'clock. I went out at 9. You couldn't even get close to the house because the line was around the block of people looking for assignments to go out, literally. And it didn't make a difference what people, what affiliation, Chassidishe, Litvische, Moderne, and Lahavdil Goyim also took part. The search went on like crazy, a crazy search for 3.5 hours, over 3 hours. That not everybody was just doing whatever they can. Whether it was the women, some people at home saying Tehillim, but Gedam, I sent it to the Rebbe, the Gam, everybody can. In other words, the idea of tut outs was a moment to see what means tut outs. Everybody, this guy said, "Oh, we didn't go check the cameras. And there was a certain alacrity, a certain energy, a certain focus. And it was a little tzumashich. It wasn't that everybody was super organized, but the fact that everybody realized that tut alts means tut alts is a little kid that's missing. It was very, very, it was the high calling that the Rebbe said tut alts is a pretty serious high calling. The other thing which I thought was also very interesting from this Hayra, the kid's name is Menachem Mendel. And the end they found him in his own closet, and it was crazy because the police and the dogs and everybody came around to look for him. They looked for him, and even with police dogs, they went into that closet like a bunch of times, and they didn't find him. He was hiding in the closet. Which I was thinking is very, very powerful. It's Pesach Sheni. So Pesach Rishon is Yetzias Mitzrayim. Pesach Sheni is Moshiach. It's the Pesach Sheni. And we're looking for Mashiach. We're looking for Menachem Mendel. We're looking for our Mashiach. And everybody's looking outside. Everybody's looking, and everybody has to know that he's in your own closet. You have to find him in yourself as well. What everybody else has to do. I just thought that was just a thought that I saw yesterday. In any case, was tut men chevre? The call to get more and more people involved in this learning. So, any ideas? Let's brainstorm now.
Another idea is I have a WhatsApp, my class WhatsApp. So I posted it there, starting to push it to Chaverim, classmates. And we have a local shluchim WhatsApp and a class WhatsApp. So posted in both of those places. Use Reb David Lepowski's post. And Baruch Hashem, people are responding. So it's just great. And a family. I also have a family learning Zoom. So everyone has classmates, fellow shluchim, family Zooms. These are all very practical places to reach. On the note of Rabbi Afton, ours, we have a little school over here. They do a Moshiach circle. The kids sit together, talk about it. It's part of the school itself, it's a very beautiful thing that they do. Like they all discuss what was their Mashiach moment in school, and so on.
So my question is, if you're sending out a WhatsApp. So if we're sending out a WhatsApp and we're encouraging, for instance, what yesterday after the commitment to take 5, I put it out on the Chabad California Shluchim. But I didn't put out a general Chassidus. I put out just this is where we want to start right now. We're looking for a chabuda of people who want to join us. We're going to be learning, and if you want to learn together, let me know. So Baruch Hashem, the response was not huge, but at least there was 8, good chevre that committed, and hopefully once we get started and we give it time, more people will join. But my question is, if you put out stam, everybody join 2000, thing, or is it more? more important that we I don't know. I'm just putting out the question to everyone. What is successful? Are we asking? Sometimes if you give people a particular option right now, this is what we're doing.
It's more powerful to ask them to get 5 people, everybody else to get 5 people as well.
Yeah, but I don't know how many. I think that's a good thing, but offering them, please join this specific thing. Would you join me in this class? Would be probably easier to get someone to join than telling them, would you open up a class? You're just throwing out an idea.
But if you yourself are making a class and I'm making a class, please join my class. And would you consider asking someone else to do? People when they're followers, the Rebbe wants leaders, and people when they're giving it as chayus and they're doing something, they're reaching where we're going to reach much more people. That's all. That's the pile mamish of it. So I think
who's the go-to person? Who's the phone number if you're making a share in your community, to contact?
What does it
I
mean?
don't know if he knows about it, but I heard Rabbi Thompson in New Haven was writing Sfarim about this. And Rabbi Zagri also wrote a sefer about this. I vote for them. Because somebody tell them about it. But they're experts in this field.
I spoke to somebody in a community, and he's willing to arrange a share in his shul, but he wants me to connect him with the person who's a Chayus on this.
Chayus for what? For giving the share, or Chayus for
asking questions?
Running the program, put it, there's who made the flyer with the list of the cities and who's in charge of this?
Shlomi the Parsnik.
Okay.
Did anybody see the curriculum that's on this group? It's like the JLI curriculum. Are you learning the Sichos or are you learning concepts? If somebody wants to teach it over, because I asked him about teaching Baal Batim, he said most probably the JLI, but the Sichos are somewhat a little bit complicated.
I think it would be very helpful if we had Shlomi on here, give us a rundown so we are more empowered, knowing what the 6 tracts are exactly. I feel like I know about it, but I feel like there's a lot more.
Is he available?
I don't know. Anyone who's connected, Shlomi here?
Yeah, I'm here. Hi.
Hi.
Okay. Wait, take one question at a time.
Take over, boss.
Man of the hour.
One. Okay. If it gets a little noisy, just because it's a very noisy office, I apologize beforehand. So just to put in perspective, this group is the Yisraelis for what's happening throughout the world. Just take a moment and realize that. Just take a moment and realize that. There's nothing, I don't have to say much further about that point. Sometimes things just fly out of your hand, and like it flew out of my hand, just 10 people working on this. I don't know where they came from. I don't know how it happened, it was brachas, boom, like just 6 languages. I have no idea how it came to 6 languages. I came to the office one day and all of a sudden we have Portuguese and Spanish and Russian. Okay, so the Rebbe is doing the work and we, Baruch Hashem, have a shtatfus in it. And again, just pratistic comments. The 6 tracts are geared for Anash. Okay, so that's b'chlol, a blanket way to look at it. I know there's some people in Chabad that could be considered more Anash, and yes, they should be included. Anash doesn't mean just people who are kapata and black hat, but people who have on that level of learning. People who have that background. That's all. The JLI curriculum is geared for people who are not going to learn the full Sicha. It's a chavrusa based curriculum. If anyone here does JLI, it's basically the same level as an instructor booklet. That's basically the way to see it. In other words, it has all the relevant information, all the text. It's not. It's almost like you give yourself a shir with a chavrusa. In English, it's being translated into Hebrew, Spanish, Russian, and French. so far. That's the JLI curriculum. Our Chassidus, the curriculum, if anyone see the Liquor Shabbos, it's very easy to imagine what's going to look like. It's the Teich and Asicha, in both in Hebrew and English. It's more, it's more of a higher level than the JLI on learning wise, but it's just not the hard Sicha. It's Teich and Asicha. It's like an essay. It's like a very lumdish essay on the Sicha, and it's going to be translated to English. The Sichos in English, and if anyone has the blue new look at these Sichos in English, know exactly what kind of Sicha. It's a masterpiece what they put together. It's a translation with explanation with all the Urs explained. That is a person who doesn't have to have so much background learning, but is going to be dedicated. It might take 2 hours, an hour and a half to 2 hours a week to learn that, because that's the full-on Sicha in English. Then the Sichos themselves are, we all know they're not the easiest Sichos. They're going to be available on tutats.com in the way the Rabbi gave it out in the translated Hebrew, as well as Mitzvah Shem, just the regular Sichas and look at the Sichos. New font, the old font, for people who want to feel the feeling of the Rebbe's actual kivitz. New font for easier read, as well as shiurim, average of 8 shiurim on each Sicha each week. A few on the Sicha shiurim. People want to learn with someone who's giving a shiur on the Sicha. A Sikum Shir, 2 Eon Shiurim, a course by Rabbi Bell. He's giving a full-on course over the 6 weeks, and many more surprises in the making. Surprised me as well. This is crazy. Lastly is a 20 minutes. It's a curriculum made on the Rambam. If anyone's seen the Pirkei Avos that came out for Living Lessons. So the kids curriculum I have not seen yet, but this is what it's described to me as living lessons. They basically have a parak Pirkei Avos right in the center and surrounded by insights of Chassidus and stories. That's going to be exactly the same on the Rambam. They're taking 6 halachas, 6 primary halachas in the Rambam, and it's at the center text with translated in a kid-friendly way, as well as insights from the Rebbe and Chassidus and story. An activity, what have you, on our kids' curriculum. Just it's not necessarily devoted to the Dvar Malchus per se, but the Dvar Malchus will have prominence in that curriculum. But it's hold on, I'm sorry. Now about communities. So we have right now 3 people working on communities. The most effective way, if you tell people, just email info@tutats.com. Someone will respond. If you want, because this group, everyone here, not everyone, but many people are familiar with Minatzchim, who works in the office here. He is taking care of communities worldwide. And then there's a younger man, and the learner who's taking care of communities in Crown Heights. So that's just to split up the work. If you're in Russia, then there's if you're talking about Russian, I don't know if that would be negat anyone here. If you're talking about Russian, South America, or France, or Eretz Yisrael, they have their own departments. I'm assuming we're all talking about North America here. So info@tutats.com. If Rabbi Mendy, if you could put that in the chat box, and maybe also put in Mendel Chaitin's number as the actual contact. But the information that you can give them as just a person who's representing. It's very simple. All the material is going to be up online every single Tuesday, maybe tomorrow, online and via email. That is going to be available every single Tuesday. Around that time will also be the printing and shipping, depending on where the community is. Some people will be printing in their actual spot. That means they'll get it a lot quicker. Some people will be printing here and shipping. Will get it later. So some communities will be getting it Thursday, Friday. So their evening of learning will be the next week, Sunday. It's not a problem. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, the community can decide. So if we're talking about printed material, it's going to be initiated on Tuesday, online, and email will be available on Tuesday. That's every single Tuesday. What we asking from these community members is make an evening of learning. There are communities that already have an evening of learning, granted, and using this as what they're learning, but there are many that are making new evening of learning. That's in person if it's possible, or over Zoom. A community can have a lot of different definitions to it. There are some people that have literally a shul shul, Shabbos, people come, maybe Sunday morning. Some people have a full-on shul for a full week, right? Better communities, and that make it evening of learning. Make the Shabbos Sunday or come together during the week. That's quite simple. Some people have a community, a family Zoom. Me personally, my family is getting together once a week. We're having a family Zoom. That is a community. We're having evening of learning, afternoon, whatever. There are some communities we have shluchim communities. Some shluchim are living very close proximity or are anyways connected via WhatsApp groups because of their common demographic or common age, classmates, stuff like that. Make it evening of learning between shluchim. That is another community. And lastly, and I think this is not getting enough attention, but there are many, many shluchim, especially those in the outlying areas that are not close to anybody. They're making evening of learning in the most precious community that you have is their own home. They're shluchim learning with their wives, the 6 weeks to learn together about Moshiach. They're shluchim learning with their wives and kids, doing the kids curriculum together, which is a beautiful thing. And obviously it's not getting that much attention, but it's things that's another way of going about it. That's Minagya communities. If you have a contact with the yeshiva, I'm just putting it out there. There's someone taking care of yeshivas. It's tamimim@totalts.com. And schools, there's a whole school program brewing that will be available in the next few days. If your kid is in a Nash school, then schools@totalts.com. I will not be able to give exact details on all those things because they're completely different departments that allocated to different people, but you just email them, they'll give you all the information you need. I'm assuming that over here, mostly people have a question of how to get the communities involved, adults, the regular adults.
Quick question. You said info@totalts.com, is that the one?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And then secondly, is it correct to say that the thing that you would most want, that's most needed right now, is getting the word out there?
Yes.
Yeah.
No, so getting the word out there is 100% needed, and we need that from every single member.
Shlomi, could you give your elevator pitch that we could use your words to give over to other shulchan, just to make sure we give it with the right flavor?
100%. Okay. You come into the elevator. You give a 2-second analyzation of who you're speaking to. You're speaking to a guy who's more intellectual. You're speaking to a guy who's more.
I'm talking to shluchim. We're talking to amongst
shluchim. I'm going to give you 2 separate elevator pitches. One that's talking to the guy who connects more midas-wise. One is going to connect more seichel-wise. The more seichel-wise is you're gonna literally pitch that this is an unprecedented amount of content on the Rebbe's Sichos that's shaykh to any single person. Okay, it's never been done before. We have 19 meisters and counting, contributing in different various forms to make these 4 sichos that the Rebbe gave on Mashiach be able to speak to any age, any age and any level. Check it out, totalts.com. It's mind-blowing. If you just see the pamphlet, it's going to be mind-blowing richer than tomorrow when you see the sheer amount of resources. Speaking to a person who's more heartsick, my elevator pitch usually is the unprecedented time that we're standing in. Okay, we're standing in 30 years since the Rebbe spoke Chavches Nissen, 30 years since the Rebbe spoke Tezim Mitzaydan, 30 years since the Rebbe gave out this booklet. 40th Siyam Harambam happening on the day of Gimel Tammuz. And we are going to all be learning these sichos that the Rebbe gave to each of us on the Siyam Harambam, literally. These 2 prakim are the Siyam Harambam. What better gift, what better engagement can we have in Hadgashos than taking this opportunity with all this, this being, in other words, you look at the time and you say, this is the time. This such a time is not going to be ever again. You can say that at any moment, but people are, because, we get excited by the chitzenius, 30 years, the 40, that's the way I would present it to people. And then there's another thing I want to say. Come Tuesday, come tomorrow, and the resources are on. There's no better pitch than actually showing the people the actual resource that will be. Right now, I consider this the pre-campaign campaign. The pre-campaign campaign. And the fact that we have 5,000 signups before people even see what they're signing up to is incredible. Look at it that way. Once
What do
you
we have
actually
now? 5,000 what?
sign-ups, estimated 5,000 people signed up.
Like during the Fabringen, people were able to sign up mostly there.
Yes. Yeah, during the Fabringen, we ended the Fabringen with about 1,100 signups. That was even before we said anything. Now we have all the marketing. It's about 5,000. But we can't even imagine what it's going to look like when the actual material is out there. I mean, even my excitement talking to you, and then your excitement talking to someone else, is going to be on a whole nother level once I already learned it and I got educated. I enjoyed it.
Shlomi, can somebody access the material only if they signed up, or could, in theory, you have a whole bunch of ghost?
No. Accessing materials is up to the public. Signing up means you're getting it in your inbox. It doesn't mean much, but it means it's a commitment.
No, but what I would say that means is because I can't, then I would say your numbers are at least double, because a lot of chevra, why are they going to take the time to sign up? They're just going to download the material and go away. So I think
also people that are joining the share, they're not signing up either.
Right. If they're not.
No.
So
I'll tell you,
we have the same numbers problem in Project of the Sichos, the same thing. They estimate how many more people are not even signed up.
Right. 5,000. If you want to know actual signups, the numbers are more around 3. We have estimated 5 together with all this year, but it's 100%. You're 100%
no, but
right.
I'm saying Shlomi, I know I, for example, didn't sign up. Yeah, Chatasi Avisi Pashati. Having said that, but the point is, for Kert, I've already, I'm engaged, and I've already, and the people that have already started learning with or whatever it is are nowhere on your system. I think you're dealing with a lot more numbers than you think, bigger numbers.
I agree.
No, I have to run. I had a quick question, not related to this. I hope it's okay. How about we can get some good chevra to write up like 4 great sermons that shluchim could use, people like YYJ or something like that, and also a lot of Orthodox shuls that are close to Chabad. If we give them a beautiful sermon, and we said there's a big kach in the world because of 30 years of the Sicha, it's very possible if you give them a nice, beautiful sermon, they'll use it on Shabbos. And we're reaching like mamish hundreds of shuls. Like, it's the numbers are crazy. But like really a 5-class sermon, like for Shabbos. Did I just mute everybody by mistake?
It was such a good.
Everybody's
great idea.
I'm sorry that I'm just giving answers over here. I wish I would know how to implement it, but somebody, if there's good sermons, shluchim are going to use it, and other rabbanim will use it. There's no question about it. People always looking for good sermons. If we have a great sermon, again, it's not learning a sicha, but it's definitely getting out the message of the sichas to a very big audience.
So we should look at the Chabad.org writers. There are a few very good writers there. Someone should write something.
Yankee Tauber, maybe. But I was, by the way, just on this point, to kind of be a little bit on the bridge of what
I have to run now.
was just speaking about in terms of also the elevator, connect this to an elevator pitch. What I was told, because I am actually learning this with Malabatim, I have a morning, Shabbos morning shir, and this is what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 weeks. I'm going to be learning with the chevra closest enough to come out half an hour early on a Shabbos day to learn something. So I'm learning Chassidishe, but now I told them I'm going to be devoted to this, and my pitch to them about why this is so important, what this curriculum is going to be. As I said that as far as the concept of Moshiach goes, the Rambam gave it the most comprehensive treatment of in the final 2 prakim of his magnum opus. The Rambam has given the most thorough treatment on the understanding of what Mashiach is, the halachic parameters, and the understanding of who Mashiach is and what is meant to be accomplished, etc. And the Rebbe in these 4 sichos gave the most comprehensive treatment of those last 2 prakim of the Rambam. So if you want the most comprehensive treatment on the most comprehensive treatment of what this means to each and every one of us now in our times in this period in history, this 4 sichos creates, in a sense, that comprehensive understanding. And so we're going to go through this methodically. And by the time we walk away at the other end of this, you are all going to have a command of the parameters of Mashiach as defined by the greatest codifier of Torah, which is the Rambam, and by the greatest Torah teacher of our generation, the Rebbe. And so this is not just.
Can I ask Shlomi one question?
Sure.
Okay. So my question is, can we appeal to the Hadgashos element of it by somehow creating something very powerful that, because I think what it works very strong by Chassidim, by everybody, is that you see the numbers. You know, you tell me 5,000. Imagine if that's 25,000, 35,000, 50,000. But people need to be encouraged to sign up. Could there be some kind of something which says, you know, there is going to be a time when all this is going to the Rebbe. Someone is taking it to the Rebbe. All the names, Shendin, Shem, B'Shem, Imoy. Let's bring that into it, that there should be a strong feeling that we're all, it should be built up and done right before Gimel Tammuz. But this encouragement for people, something coming from the office.
100%. I take that idea to heart. We do have already on the sign up. We put in name mother's name, because we obviously planning on taking this to the Rebbe. But I guess the idea is here, make that public, like a certain time,
and make it a strong. Give it a. Doesn't have to be right now. It can be even in a week or no. It should be closer, because you want people as they're getting on to create that momentum.
Right. Correct. All right. It shouldn't be a hard thing to do, and it's all in the implementation. That's my job. So I have to take it to my team. 100%.
Can we start again? Zusha just joined us.
Zusha, you're muted.
Sorry, I'm used to talk to myself. I have a B'sura Tova. Just before Mincha, I got confirmation. Mate Moshiach in Eretz Yisrael is going to promote the whole campaign.
This is crazy.
So they have actually now a project themselves, a 24-hour learning the Sichos, a global event, etc. So no problem for the Sicha. We're very happy to. They're very happy to push it. Our thing, they're not going to change anything. They're going to push it, promote. He asked me I should send him the link, and he's going to promote it. By the way, he asked me I should push it more in Chabad Info also. Chabad Info will be happy to advertise it and promote it. So it's a little bit of good news.
A lot of good news.
And I have to say, there was absolutely no hesitation. There was no hesitation. There was no question. Nothing. Absolutely sure. Beautiful thing. We're going on.
To me, this is an indication this is Pasha Moshiach site, because Moshiach is not going to, as we say, as the Rambam says, not in Chadash Davar. The fact that the Be'em is probably underlying all these years of all the Sichsuchim or whatever it is, that Merkez and Mat Moshiach can be so seamlessly integrated as long as we put aside the Mishigasim and without hesitation, something is being produced by Merkez, is being picked up by Mat Moshiach, that all of Lubavitch is unified in this Inyan is you know, this is what needed to happen 20 years ago.
Oh Hashem, let's not cry on the past. Let's move forward with what we have now. Pesach Shein in the stock of Hafal. Right? As actually he told me, whoever I spoke to, he told me, if you think about it, that 30 years later, after that Sicha, do we need a better proof that the Rebbe left? Do we need a better proof that the Rebbe is here? Think about it. 30 years later, 3 Wörter und die ganze Welt kocht sich. I mean, it's, anyway.
3 Wörter,
we got yesterday, Sandy put out yesterday a call for shluchim to sign up to get 5 people. A bunch of people answered, but it's nowhere close to the 120 chevra in the Minatzchim. I'm calling out again. We need everybody to chime in. Everybody can find people.
Maybe Mandy could post the list of the Minatzchim, and how many are we on now? There's 23 on the call now. We should all call 5 of the Minatzchim for them to call further. I don't know the Iyar. If Mandy could put up the list, I don't know if it's permitted, list with 4 numbers, and we'll all take a few names and we'll call them.
Okay, I will take the list and I'll put it up. Shlomi, I understand you had a list also for everyone to sign up with. I couldn't find it. I was looking through the Minatzchim chat. Can you send it to me again, Shlomi?
No, I had a list. I don't recall. There was. I think Rabbi Yehuda Levin had it.
Okay, so if that's the case, I'll just put it up to the Google sheets that I made, and I'll put the names and the numbers of everybody I have.
And then maybe we should all put on this list, I'm taking these people and I'm taking these people. So otherwise, we're gonna be just redundant.
I'll do that, Mitzvah.
I'll also add that I think it's very, very effective when you mention on the chat people who have done what they make a public announcement. It's not about it's just a mefarsa mitzvah. Creates other people to do it. And I also want to comment. This is from my own experience. I know I'm very young, but I have an experience of a month over here. I get a lot of experience.
You got more.
No, so I tell you, it's a very interesting thing. When people they say a thing in marketing that someone has to see something 7 times for him to take it seriously. So if he sees it on a status, then he sees it on Kingston, then he sees it on the website, then he sees it in the show. I don't know, but I do know that it's very effective that when this happens to me and I've tried it. Anyone sees something on a sign, it's makif. People see it, an ad, it's makif. People talk about it's makif. And then you have someone call up and say, would you like to join me? It's the most easiest thing to get him in. Easiest. Now that the marketing's out there, now everyone has seen it. I ask anyone on the street, Stam, they don't even know who I am. Like, did you hear about this? They said, yeah, we heard about it. Some people say we signed up. A lot of people just say, oh, we heard about it. Someone would go over to them and say, would you want to join a share or would you want to sign up specifically? They're going to do it. It's like there for the taking. It's really there for the taking at this point. To the elevator pitches and all that, I think you really don't need it so much. It's just a matter of, hi, I'm inspired by this cause and I'm dedicated to calling up. Tell them honestly, I'm dedicated to calling up 5 friends. I did this to my family. I said, I'm directing this thing and I think my family should join. And everyone said yes. I'm part of a group of shluchim who are very, very dedicated and we're part of the inspiration for this. And I take it much to heart. I'm trying to get 5 friends. I already got 4. Would you like to sign up? Yes. Watch.
Why don't we get the list from the ones that call for Hadgashos? They have kids that you give them a little bit of pizza and they literally call all of them out and they get donations. They have everybody's numbers, their cell phones. They do a good job at calling.
Probably has someone has to care about it to do it, not just some random person.
But you don't have their numbers. They have the numbers, they know who to call. You can call your own friends, but that's 10 people or 15 people.
How can we see how many people signed up? Because I think it'll create momentum. Shlomi, you told us there's 5,000 people. How would I know that?
Okay, so that number in the email that goes out, every Tuesday and every Friday, you'll have the updated number, that's for sure. Many people have been requesting a counter on the website. It's a very good idea. We've been looking into it. It's not easy. It's not easy. If anyone here has any connection to someone who can build that software or borrow that software from another platform, then that is going to be the way it's going to go. For our team, it's
charity. Wouldn't charity be the perfect people for this? They have all this. If they give the coding for that and the platform, anyone has connection, then we can take it there. But I assure you that I looked into it. We're still looking into it, but it wasn't as simple as we thought.
takes a lot of time and a lot of money. And money's not even the issue so much. It's the time. You know, it's gonna be ready in a month.
Platform. They don't have a counter. The charity platform.
No, charity
One minute.
does.
Shlomi, I know right now, I'm sorry. I know that right now in-house, C Kids, Zalmi Lowenthal, who's probably sitting one cubicle over from you, just has right now, they just launched, they're taking all the kids from Hebrew school and pressing them into Tzivos Hashem. And they have right now a website called Mitzvah Meter, where kids are taking a mitzvah, and it's right now doing exactly what we're talking about. So stand up from the cubicle. Hey, Zalmi, how you doing it? You know,
He's listening. He's on
Zalmi.
Nice.
Didn't Project is good. The Sichos also had it. Didn't they have it when they launched it?
By the way, I just want to say, just between us 25 Chaver.
So just back end stuff, like every few hours is updates the website, right? Someone working on it full time. Just up to the next. Yeah, exactly. That's something possible. But I'm still open if anyone has any ideas. I'll speak to Zalmi, whatever. It's, you know, it's just been an area that's not been taken. No one's taken a Chayus over it, but I know that people are. It's a good idea. Anyone want to help in that regard? More than happy to. More than happy to take help.
I can call Yudala Garland and ask him if he'll jump on board. He's a Chaver of mine, whatever it is. I can ask him. But the question is whether it's necessary, whether we need charity to do this, or whether really.
Right. Yeah.
Shlomi says he can do it. Shlomi Rutman says if you give him back access, he can do it.
How about, let me ask another question. How about if people that have followers? I have people who listen to my videos every day. I don't make every day. I'm going to make a short video today. This is going to be my teichen. My teichen is flooding the world with knowledge of Moshiach. It's going to be a short video, and I'm going to add the tut out thing on the bottom. I'm going to put it out to the 600-700 people who receive the video every day, but they send it out to a lot of people. People tell me that I don't know. Can we get, I know Manis Friedman is one of the people teaching. Can we get Manis? Can we get Yossi Jacobson? Can we get a few people who have a lot of people watching their videos to make a short clip about this and put it out there? Because these people have a lot of people listening, and when they endorse something, it picks up by all their followers. Just a thought.
Influencers.
Chassidishe influencers.
Yeah. So in that regard, we do have a couple people lined up, hopefully. But if anyone has, there's no limit to such a thing. So if anyone has connection to anybody, then please take up that. Rabbi Rubenfeld, are you typing all these ideas into the chat so we can?
I'm trying. I got a lot of them, not all of them.
Okay.
I would like to cost
for later reference.
Chase Taub, Yossi, saying Simon, Chase Taub, Yossi Jacobson, Manis, just a couple of chaver that have Rabbi Kaplan from he was on one of our Minatzchim meetings. People like that should put out a short thing. These things gain steam. Watch that video.
Definitely, that's very important. But I'll come back to what Shlomi said before. There is nothing like a personal phone call. All this is still marketing. All these videos, etc. It has an influence. There's no question, and we should do it if it's possible. Adarabah, but it should not take away from the actual calling up a guy. Please join me. I had it this morning. Madam Shachis Shul, Alabavitch Shul. I went over to the Rav, and I said, start the shir in this. He said, yeah, I heard something about it. What is it? I told him. He says, yeah, I'm starting this week a shir in the shul officially. Just so there's nothing like, as you said, as Shlomi said before, the personal request, personal contact is ponim el ponim dibar Hashem el Meisha. That's ik ben de meile. So.
Can I make a comment? It has nothing to really do, but this happened in the past few days to a couple of people. That I hear that like people make sure we have no idea how many people are going to make family Zooms. We have no idea how many people are going to make shiurim. There's no way to know. If you, the inner circle here, if you do know, Try to inform us, not because just because if we could put that on the next brochure, it just shows more places. And again, like Sonny said, like there's no way to know. Whatever we do know, we'll be enforcing as much as possible because that's just very, very powerful.
You want to use the Google Sheets? You can make a place in the Google Sheets. Everyone can edit it, and then we'll just add as many places as possible.
Or email. You yourself can email info@totas.com and say, I just spoke to this person. I'm just informing you there's a share in this place.
Okay.
That's just simple. Yeah.
Tell
him to himself. I think email is just easier for everyone, just so he gets in his email.
Shlomi, I think you should also set up. It's not too hard because you can even do it through Facebook, whatever it is. A clearinghouse, gallery of pictures. Let people take selfies of them learning the Sichos with them. Aaron Talashevsky just put up this great selfie of him being in the copy and print center holding the Dvar Malchus. A whole bunch of pictures. This galvanizes people. When you see pictures of your chavedim, wherever it is, somewhere on the other side of the country, and they're sitting 3 chavedim and they're learning the Sicha together, and they took a picture of themselves. Create a gallery of photos of Chevra and encourage a Minatzchim group. I will Mirz Hashem upload a picture. I should have taken one this morning. I learned already with a couple Chevra. And just put up pictures and then take the pictures from it and put it up. What's it called? Put it up on the website. Put a photo gallery thing on the Total's website. And I think people love visuals, and keep a gallery. 100%. And honestly, the Rebbe loved photo albums. So
is there a section for people to discuss the Sicha, questions and answers, the Iyar questions? Is there such a?
Yeah, we're starting a WhatsApp group today, and on the website.
On the Total's website.
So we discussed should we make a forum on the website or not? The consensus is that just WhatsApp is just what everyone wants these days. It's the easiest thing. We could do something on the website, but what we decided to do, Dvar is on the website. There's a place to enter the WhatsApp group very easily.
Can you connect the WhatsApp group to the website?
Yeah, exactly.
And everything that goes on the WhatsApp will automatically be.
Oh no. I mean that's another step. I have to find out from the web guy if you could do that. That's another step. But you definitely you could enter the WhatsApp group. You on the website, there's a button that you go straight into the WhatsApp group. For there, you join the group. That's the best medium we have. We can make a blog online. There's different ideas. There is a chassaron of WhatsApp. There is a chassaron. The chassaron is it's very hard to look at previous stuff, to search previous stuff. But that's the chassaron. But all the miles outweigh the engagement that you have. The generation we're dealing with is that if people do have something to discuss, if it's not on WhatsApp or something very easy, they're just gonna whatever. They're not gonna go that extra step to go online and type in something. So that's
true, but it also has a chassaron. Unfortunately, a high percentage of us who send a message on WhatsApp realize 2 seconds later, what did I just say? Why did I say that? And so on. We, unfortunately, in the WhatsApp, we don't think, we just type. Yeah. And it could become like a yenta business, whereby if you have it on a more serious platform, the person who asks the question, the person who's going to answer will think about it a bit more. It'll be a little bit more teuchendik. WhatsApp tend to be like shooting from.
I know. No, I 100%. I recognize that concern, but still, I mean, it's just that. I mean, I know there's so many forums. I was speaking to people. There's forums for Seifrim and there's forums for like Malamdim, and they start off and they end up just going straight onto WhatsApp with that chassaron. The thing is, you have someone who monitors the WhatsApp very carefully, which Mitchell will have someone take care of it.
I had an idea, Shlomi. I don't know if it's practical or not. Chayenu has a big reach. Do we know who's in charge of that? Because this is the right crowd.
Good point. It should be put into the Chayenu. That is a very good point.
Yeah. We Chayenu was one of the first places they wanted to put it into, but they already have they're printing now to farm. So.
But can they put it on their? That's
maybe a special.
Could they put it in their app? They have an app. I used Chayenu's app daily.
Yeah, we could approach them. If I put that idea, Rabbi Mendy, put that idea into chat, and you could approach them about that. They were very encouraging. So it's just a matter of.
What about the Dvar Malchus? I'm talking the weekly Dvar Malchus. I doubt that they're up to Dvarim.
Dvar Malchus and Dvar Malchus, mind blowing.
Which organ? There's a few. Which one are you referring to? There's a few.
The weekly Chitas. Okay.
Oh, you're saying the Dvar Malchus like
The precursor to Chayenu. The precursor to Chayenu.
They should. I said they should be paying for this whole thing. The amount of publicity. I'll ask the Israeli department. I'll ask them. I don't know what the. It's very hard to get into It's very hard to get into. Especially when you're making a magazine like this. Where they're like there's like X amount of pages and X amount of this, but maybe some sort of supplement. I don't know. We'll see.
Even one email from them, I think would have.
You're saying to contact. You're saying to that's.
By the way, Yossi Rubin says maybe a paper insert into the Chayenu.
Right. Yeah, that may be an idea, but the question is if we'll be fast enough for even that. They ship a month at a time. The contributing moistas here are are bursting at the seams to get this done. I mean, Sichos in English and JLI, I want to just publicly say, they went on Mesiras Nefesh Rapoil. I know Shmuley Afton and his team, Mesiras Nefesh Rapoil to do this because they have their deadlines for their other projects, and they're making now of the caliber. Just to put in perspective, the Sicha that they're printing now for this project, it's usually a month's work, a 15-step project, a month's work in each Sicha. Doing these 15 steps in a matter of this Sicha they did in a matter of 7 days. And that means some of the team did a few all-nighters. Whatever. It's just to have it on a timely fashion for like people like Chayenu who are very established is really not practical. But there's other means to use them. As Sandy said, the app. We'll use what we can.